Okay, guys, I want to send out the email. Can we confirm that the Zoom link will be working and that we're doing it through Zoom? Yes or no? If yes, I'm sending out the email.
No, we can't confirm yet.
Hi, there's another email for Shimon Feldy, which is the one he should give his service share.
Let him give it whatever he wants. Everyone else is, let him pick a time. Whatever is good for him. Send it out. It's great. Jamie, are we all set up? It doesn't look like we've been set up for the Shiur. That we have to get the VHP Shiur going. I know you're working on the Merzel thing. Let me know.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it now, so it's about 20 minutes to go and set up. We'll get set up with VHP, but I'm just not sure how the Merzel thing is going to work. Rav Chumash
Moses.
In the worst case here, and if we can get it working, maybe if not, I'm gonna call Moses, have him send a cab over with a little bit better portable Wi-Fi. It's still cellular, but it's better than a hotspot. Especially with Speedify, we can add it. But let's see where we're holding. Let me get a few more minutes before I do it.
Who Moses? Listen, for sure, we should try and get this done. If it's going to be too crazy, obviously the live feed is much more powerful and better, and people could ask questions then while we're streaming. But if not, we'll just have to video it. Get a good video. I don't know, something with very good quality, and we'll video it and send it out. And we'll have to send it an email and that we're very sorry that due to the internet connection, we're not going to be able to live stream it, but we'll be sending out later on. If possible, yes, after 3 p.m., anytime after 3 p.m. New York time. Other Rebbeim are giving between 1 and 2 also, much as we asked not to, that's what they're doing. So I'm not going to tell them if that's the only time you can do it, then you should do it then also.
Who else started an info?
Oh, really? He said he was?
No, he didn't say. Totally making that up. But
Oh, here's us just saying.
saying it's plausible.
Is anyone out and about in East Brunswick, or everyone's just staying in their houses?
Seen people in the supermarket.
Right.
There's
Like
nowhere to
people-
be out. There's nowhere to be out and about.
No, I mean like here, like people are at least going like walking and things like that. Like
Well, there's a
I haven't
lot
like
of
seen anyone
people
like no, like I haven't seen anyone like whatever, but like you
I see a
like,
lot
people-
of yesterday over Shabbos. A lot of like my neighbors all out walking out and about.
Right.
The first time.
Yeah, like because on Shabbos you can't even do anything else. Like during the week, like people
But they're
won't
not
necessarily
Jewish.
walk because
They're
like
not Jewish.
non-Jewish neighbors now. Where do you live?
On Sussex Road.
Like where is that in terms of like the shul, Lev, and like other people I may know there?
Um,
Do you think this is being
So-
recorded?
it is being recorded. I live on the same side of the shul as Lev.
Right. Closer to Zach Tuckman?
You know where the Shabbos park is?
No. Shuk.
I can't explain it.
Alright.
I
Oh,
should on
Coibs.
Google Maps.
Koibsy.
Yeah, one of my neighbors is like my Christian next door neighbor. She's like, we're all going to be keeping the Jewish Sabbath this week.
Tell her she's gonna die.
Why you Torah B'Tzion Kol of Chicago? It's definitely Ari Zucker.
That is true, actually. On the wrong account. Whatever.
A slight flex, Ari.
Avi! Avi.
Avi E.
Oh, what's up? Hello,
Shiur.
guys.
Shiur, the rabbi said 2 people probably wouldn't be a problem. Sit it down.
Okay, welcome everyone. Jamie, I'm giving Shiur. Yes? Starting. You saying right now?
What?
You saying right now? I'm about to start.
No, we spent the whole morning not working.
Oh, it's Sunday. Jamie's there.
Okay. Welcome, Gabi Smith, Shiur Corner. David, Nathaniel, Akiva, Avi, Yoni, Kobe, Yona. Shiur, you're sideways. Yoni Grossman, Jonathan, Ethan.
Oh,
Hey, Marcus, welcome. Shechianu. Ari Zucker. Shiur Kornick. Why? I'm confused. Why is Shiur Kornick on twice? I have him 2 screens. One he is sideways still, and one says Shiur Kornick in a different box. Does anyone have a shot in this?
He's probably on both his computer and phone.
trying to pump up the numbers.
That's a good svara. That's a good svara. Did anyone see those numbers that were sent out by Yeshiva about how many shiurim were given last week?
No, let's hear that.
What?
I didn't hear that stat.
Okay, we have to move that. I have to give. I'm not going to be able to stay on afterwards today because I have to give VHP today. And obviously, you all know that there's the Rav Saw Q&A Chizuk tonight. Ezrat Hashem will be live streamed. Ezrat Hashem. Still working on that. What is it? 74 shiurim, 35,928 minutes of shiurim, 1,555 participants, and 1 nativ family. That was the stats.
Live, give, nativ.
Live, give nativ. Wow, guys, does it feel like Sunday morning?
Yes.
It shouldn't. There's no difference between Sunday and every other day. Let's go. What are we up to? We're up to Tough Ayin Gimel. We're in the middle of Siv Dalet. Okay. Shalom Judah Samuels.
Morning, Rav.
Yoni Cement. Back. Thanks for the good Shabbos wishes, Yoni. Appreciate it. Matthew. What are those flags of Gedolim behind you? Rav Chaim Kanievsky, Rav Nevinson. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Okay, Boker, tell everyone we are having this in Tough Ayin Gimel Siv Daled. We're in the middle of Siv Daled over here. We're talking about the Ka'ara. Okay, we're talking about the Ka'ara, and there's really two different minhagim when it comes to the Ka'ara. Most follow the Arizal. The Arizal is found in Sivkat and Ches, the Seder Ka'aras Arizal. I'll send out later a picture of the two different minhagim. One is the Graz minhag, one is the Arizal minhag. Even Rosh Zalman, who followed a lot of things of the Gra, he did like we did by like the Arizal. Yeah, the Chazar we're talking about over here in Siv Dal, we started talking about the Ka'ara of the Balabais, right? We said before that the Ka'ara, the Seder Ka'ara that we have, that it only really has to be in front of the actual Balabais. Not everyone has to have, not every family at a Seder has to have their own Ka'ara. It's good enough to have just one Seder Ka'ara. That really is going to be good enough. Okay? The Ramah tells us the Yisader Ka'ara, we're on page top of 165. You're really supposed to set it up in a way that the mitzvahs that you're going to use first are closer to the balabais. This is what the Rama writes over here. And this is the raya that I told you last time. It sounds like you're actually taking the mitzvahs from the Seder Ka'ara that's in front of you. You're not just like passing around separate things, or else who cares about, you're not avir now mitzvahs by doing it in a separate order. It's the order of whatever you bring to the table. No, you're actually supposed to take it from the Seder Ka'ara. The minhag is not necessarily like that. So therefore, therefore the karpas should be the first thing there. And some of the Seder Ka'aras don't even have karpas. And when I send it out, you'll see. But here the Ramah says the karpas should be the closest to the balabais. And therefore the salt water should be near it also. Over here he says vinegar, we use salt water, yoter mina matzah, more than the matzahs. The matzah comes before morris, the matzah should be before mortar. The basar and beitza should be the furthest away because those are the last things we're going to use in the Seder. See, today we have the camera facing the kotel a little bit. Okay, you can almost get a glimpse of the kotel. Okay, it's right past over there. We don't have such a good view, but that's our view today. We don't have Sammy Weichner to show us the rest of the base medrash, but here we go. Okay, so that is how they brought down over here in the Seder Ka'ara. In terms of the salt water, in terms of the salt water, is that, first of all, it should be salty. It doesn't have to be crazy salty, but it has to be salty. But the Mishabura points out over here, Siv Katan Kaf Aleph. Oh, may melech be tobehena karpas here. You know, it is the salt water. In order to be tovel, the karpas, for into the salt water. If it comes out on Shabbos, Yasa may melech kodem Shabbos velo yasa b'Shabbos. You should do the may melech before Shabbos. Don't do it on Shabbos. Don't make the Mei Melech on Shabbos. This is the whole sugya in Sin Shin Chaf Aleph at the beginning about Ma'abed. Okay, it's a malach without getting into all the discussion over here. Doing things that preserve things, which is salt water preserves things. Therefore, doing too salty of salt water on Shabbos, making the salt water itself, might be problematic. So therefore, when Pesach falls out on Shabbos, so then you should go ahead and do the salt water already before Shabbos. Okay, fine. That's one ha'ara about the salt. The salt water is pretty clear. We'll come back to when dipping the karpas in. We're going to go through all those things later on. We already discussed the Ramah versus the Arizal, the two different ways of setting up the Ka'ara. And I said in the Haggadah of Rosh Zalman, page 80, you see over there that the minhag of Rosh Zalman was to do like the Arizal. Now, we mentioned last time, as the Mechaber tells us also over here, the two cooked items, we have the Zroa and we have the Beitza, right? Says the Mechaber over here, third line down. The Basar Nagush Zroa. The Basar it should be a Zroa. Really, the Zroa should be a Zroa of a kevis, okay? A nice lamb Zroa, a big fat Zroa. Once again, that's not necessarily the minhag for sure, but it's Ashkenazim. It is not. We use a nice, cute little chicken wing. Okay, that's generally the minhag. If you get a zroa of a kavis gavaldik, but usually people just go ahead and use chicken wings, and that's what we use for the zroa. And that, once again, that represents the korban pesach. That represents the korban. The nagu shabasra yetzali ala gecholim ve'abeitza tiyeh mivushalas. Okay, we said over here that we have the zroa, which is the basar, that's representing the korban pesach, and we have the beitza, which is representing the korban chagiga. That's representing the korban chagiga. That should be mivushalas. So we have the zroa, which is supposed to be roasted, just like the korban pesach was roasted, but it's not the korban pesach. Don't think for a second. This is the korban pesach, and that's the reason why when we get to Pesach Matzah Mar, we're not going to lift up the shank bone, not to get confused to think this is actually the korban pesach, but it just represents the korban pesach. If it represents the korban pesach, it has to be tzali, okay, it has to be roasted. And the beitza, which represents the korban chagiga, according to the mechaber, should just be a hard-boiled egg. Hard-boiled, and that's it. Oh, you probably know that your mother roasts the egg also. That's the Ramah. The Ramah says, "V'hu din sluya v'chein nogim be'yireinu." Our minhag is to actually roast the egg also. So most people take a regular hard-boiled egg, then they put it over the fire and roast it. For that matter, a lot of people do that with the shank bone. Also, the zroa. Okay, it's hard to just like hold the shank bone or actually get it cooked. The zroa, basically, most people cook the zroa first. Okay, and then they roast it over a fire, hold it over a fire, get it nice blackened a little bit. That's good enough over here for the Seder plate. A lot of people do that for the egg also. At least Ashkenazim over here, they do that in order to fulfill the Ramah that it actually is roasted also. Rosh Hashanah actually, did like the Mechaber. He just had it cooked and not roasted at all. Okay, but most people roast their egg a little black spot will be left on it. Okay? Now, who here has the minhag to eat the egg? Egg, Lel Seder, who eats the egg? Hard-boiled eggs will be passed around. Okay? There are different reasons brought down in the poskim why, or I don't even know the poskim, I don't know, the people say why we eat the egg. We eat the egg, and some people say, all right, because back to, it's round, it reminds us of Velos, why we remember that Pesach, I'm not sure. Okay, the world goes round. I don't know all these different vortlach on why you eat egg. I believe it's a double pashut. Why do we eat the egg? Is because it represents the korban chagiga. And therefore, we eat the egg to remember the korban chagiga right before when are you supposed to eat the egg according to this? What do we actually eat? Lela Pesach, that reminds us of the korban, that's zecher, the korban Pesach. We don't eat the shank bone. We'll soon see, we're not allowed to eat the shank bone, not to get confused with the korban Pesach, but we do eat something, and that's the afikomen. The afikomen is the korban Pesach. That's the place where you eat the korban Pesach. That's what the afikomen is. And therefore, I believe, back in the time of the Mikdash, they used to eat the korban chagiga first. And then after eating the korban chagiga, in order to eat the korban Pesach ala soba, when you're somewhat satiated, in order that you don't break the bones of the korban Pesach, therefore you ate the korban chagiga first. That's what you did in the Zman of the Mikdash. Therefore, I believe that's what represents the minhag, that we eat hard-boiled eggs to remember the korban chagiga first, right before afikomen, and then you go eat afikomen. So all the way at the end of Shulchan Aruch, right before you get to tzafun, right before you get to the afikomen, that's a nice idea. That's not the Indian eat hard-boiled egg. Not on the chiyuv to eat hard-boiled egg, but if you have the minhag to eat hard-boiled egg, I believe that's where the minhag comes from of why we eat a hard-boiled egg in order to remember this din of the korban chagiga eaten first, and then the korban pesach. Now, in terms of the korban pesach, the zroa, right, we have something on the seder plate that represents the korban of the zroa, but we don't eat it, as we'll soon see. And we have the afikomen that we actually eat to remember the korban pesach. I don't think anyone's going to get confused between eating matzah and a nice steak. Okay, that we're not going to get confused. Therefore, that represents, though, the eating of the korban pesach. Look inside the Mishnah Brus Sivkat and Lamed Beis. The Mishnah Brus Sivkat and Lamed Beis, he tells us all this. The Chei Noagim Be'ireinu over here is going on the fact that Hutin Sluya the Chei Noagim Be'ireinu by the egg. Says the Mishnah Brus, to go ahead and roast the egg, and that's why it's got that black spot on it most of the time. The asr lechol hazroa b'layla, but the zroa, it is asr to eat leil pesach. We do not eat the zroa. We do not eat anything roasted. We skip that simon. Maybe we'll get back to it if we finish all of Hilchos Leil Seder. We don't eat roasted things
on Leil Pesach. Leil Pesach, we don't eat roasted things, therefore we also don't eat the Zroa. Especially don't eat the Zroa, not to become confused to think we're eating the Korban Pesach. We do not eat roasted things at night. Aval habeitza ashi tzluya mutter. Even though if you go ahead and roast the beitza, that's going to be mutter shein iser tzli beitza. It's only an iser tzli on meat and chicken. But eggs, you're allowed to eat roasted eggs. No one's going to get confused with that in the Korban Pesach. Ulefiz, according to this, a couple of nafkaminas come out. If you can't eat the zroa leil Pesach, also lead slota zroa b'layla. You can't roast the zroa leil Pesach. You have to roast the zroa already before Pesach because you're only allowed to cook things that you're going to eat on that day of Yom Tov. You're allowed to cook on Yom Tov, but only things you're actually going to eat. So therefore, since it's usher to eat the zroa at night, don't roast it leil Pesach. You roast it already before Pesach starts. Unless your das is to wait and eat the zroa the next day. If you're going to eat it the next day, meaning Pesach morning, so then you could roast it at night. You're allowed to cook for it, you're allowed to roast for actual Pesach. But if you're not planning on eating it, then you're not allowed to roast it leil seder. You have to roast it already, erev Yom Tov, which I imagine most people do. But if you forget to roast the zroa and you're not planning to eat it, then you should not roast it. So if you didn't roast the zroa, you get to leil seder, oh, baby, you didn't roast the zroa, no problem. Roast it and just eat it the next day. This people don't know. How many people here have ever eaten the zroa, not leil Pesach, the next day? Who here eats the shank bone? Okay, for you guys after the second day. They usually leave the first shank bone for the first night and use it again for the second night. No one. What do you do with the zroa? Who here? Who wants it? What do you guys do with the zroa? What?
Throw it away.
Huh? You throw it away.
Throw it out. Save it for
That I
next year.
believe is also the minhag about probably most people. The problem, look at the Hemshech of the Mishnah Berurah. Says the Mishnah Berurah, 3 lines from bottom katav b'chayi adam. Ra alai ha'maisa shezorkim hazroa. How terrible it is, the maisa that people throw out the zroa. Bizui mitzvah, it's used for a mitzvah, and we're going to throw it in the garbage? No, you're supposed to eat it. Mitzvah, and you have to be on sheni beboker. It's a mitzvah to eat it the second day of Yom Tov. For you guys who keep 2 days of Yom Tov, mitzvah to eat it the second day of Yom Tov boker. The tochatzli, shetzol the Yom Tov, you go ahead and put it with the rest of the food. You eat it the day of Pesach. For you guys, the second day. If you make 2 different zroas, you eat the first one the first day, the second one the second day. But you're not supposed to throw the zroa in the garbage. It doesn't go in the garbage. It was used for a mitzvah. It's part of the Seder plate. It's part of the Seder. You don't throw it in the garbage. You're supposed to go ahead and eat it. Okay? I know it's not the easiest thing. Like you got the little chicken wing that doesn't look so tempting. There's no sauce on it. It doesn't have the barbecue sauce on it. Okay, so you throw a little barbecue sauce on it the morning of and eat the zroa in order that you don't end up throwing it in the garbage. That would be the correct thing to do in the zroa. So we learn, that's why we come to Shiur, in order to learn new things over here. With most things, unfortunately, you haven't ever known. We go through a little Seder so many times, there's so many things that we don't really know. Okay, now, then the Mechaber goes in tomorrow. Okay, we're not going to go through too much of the nitty-gritty of this Seif because it talks about all the different types of things. The Mishnah tells us in Maseches Psachim, in the 10th parak, that there's 5, not the 10th parak, earlier on, that you can eat, there's 5 different 5 different vegetables that one could use for maror. And it lists it off for us. Okay, and therefore the Mechaber says, Eilu Yerakos Yotze B'hem Yudei Chavas. Okay, these are the Yerakos that one could be Yotze, his mitzvah of maror. Chazeres Ulshin Tamcha. The reason why you're going tomorrow, we're not up to maror yet, but he's talking about what to put on the Seder plate. So what maror are you supposed to put on the Seder plate? What are these 5 things? Chazeres, that is romaine lettuce. Okay, as you see at the bottom, number 1, Humasharano Korim Chasa, lettuce. Okay, Ulshin, Tamcha. Tamcha is what many people call maror, that white thing that you grate and it's really, really spicy. That's Tamcha. V'acharchavina and maror. Maror is not something that we've never ever use. Okay, those are the 5 things that you're allowed to use. We'll come back to this in a second. You're yotze with the leaves of them and also the stems of these vegetables. Imagine the romaine lettuce. You can use the leaves, you can use the stem. Both of them are good. But the roots, that is not considered part of the vegetable, that you cannot go ahead and use. But the olive, if you want to use the leaves, you're only going to be yotzi if they're still fresh and they're green and they're wet. Okay, but they're all dried out, then you're not allowed to use it. But the stems you can use whether it's fresh or it's not fresh. Those you could always go ahead and use. You don't cook them, you don't preserve them, you don't do different things to them. You just eat it raw. The kulam it's starving the kazayis. All of them can be starved to the sheer kazayis. Shua sheer shalahem. Meaning you could have a half a kazayis of tamcha and a half a kazayis of maror, and okay, you could mix them around, and you're all going to be else because they're all minei mar. Okay, they're all minei mar. The ikra mitzvah. Now, what is the best thing to use? Might be a little bit surprising. Call it a little bit wimpy over here. The best thing is not the white stuff. It's not the white stuff, says the Mechaber. The Mechaber says v'ikra mitzvah b'chazeres. The romaine lettuce is the ikra mitzvah, says the Mechaber. If you don't have romaine lettuce, so say the time the Chavetz Chaim they didn't have lettuce available. Rishon can be seder shem shnuyim. Then you go after the order that's written in the Mishnah. The Hainu. The first reason why it's better to use romaine lettuce than the other four things listed over here is because the Gemara tells us that kodem in Mishnah is kodem to the chashivos. And therefore, romaine lettuce is the first thing mentioned over chazeres. Therefore, that is why one of the reasons why it is preferable to use romaine lettuce over the spicy tamcha, what we call horseradish, whatever it might be that you grate and your eyes start to cry and all these things like that. Now, two other reasons why we use chasa. The Gemara tells us chasa, the lashon, the word chasa, to remind us of that Kadosh Baruch Hu was chas al bnei Yisrael at Rachmanis and bnei Yisrael in Mitzrayim. And so too, as the Mishnah Berurah brings down in Sifkat and Membeis, also it says over here, "Bechazer shu zeicher l'shibud Mitzrayim." Sifkat and Membeis in the Mishnah Berurah. Shu zeicher l'shibud Mitzrayim. She'atchila also reminds us of the shibud in the Mitzrayim. She'atchila so rachlu v'so kasha. We know that Paro tricked us. He first made it not so bad, and he gave us wages, and he didn't make us such bad, such horrible labor. And then, little by little, they made it worse and worse. Okay, the beginning was rachlu v'so kasha. V'cheinu gam came teva chazeres. That's also the nature of the chazeres. Tchiloso matok v'so formar. I don't know about matok, but it starts to be less spicy. There's a little less bitter, and it gets more bitter as you chew it on. Those are the reasons why I brought down why we use romaine lettuce and not other things. Says the Mishnah Berurah over here, and this probably will explain to us why perhaps some have the minhag to go ahead and eat grain. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Sivkatan Lamed Vav. He says over here, Lamed Vav. Again. V'hinei, 3 lines down. V'hinei, b'minidina seinu ein shar minim mitzuyin. All other minim of Mara were not matzui, says the Chavetz Chaim in Radin. They only had. That's why the minig in Radin, many other places was they would eat tamcha and not chasa. They would not have the chazeres, they would have the tamcha because that's what they had. That's what they had in Radin. They didn't have gush katif lettuce and all these other lettuces over there. That's what they had, and that's what they ate. And therefore, it could be in Europe. It was just more readily available, and that's why the minig of our grandparents, they asked to eat the tamcha. We get to Leil Seder, you might find your parents, your grandparents still telling on, don't eat the lettuce, gotta eat the white stuff. Real men eat the white stuff, but we see over clearly that that's not true. It's not the ikr. The ikr is really to eat the romaine lettuce. To eat the romaine lettuce and not the maror. Okay, Moreno Rabbeinu Rav Nebenzahl deals a little bit over here. Number one, as he points out, the chasa is readily available, and therefore we could go ahead and use the chasa. Okay, but some people, I think they say the Chazon Ish perhaps was mistopic if our lettuce is really the same lettuce, whether it really has the same quality, because our lettuce is not so bitter. It's not so bitter, so maybe that's not really maror. So therefore, it says, those who are mitztapik that maybe chas is not really maror, yichu ma'at chreinu kazai is maror. You should take a little bit of the chrein, you'll take a little bit of the tamcha, you'll eat it in the kazai, so the maror of yochel kodem chas, you'll eat the kazai, so the maror of the chrein, and you'll eat it in the kazai of that, and then you'll take a kazai of chasa. That's what you want to do. You want to be machmer, so take, by the way, if you want to eat the white stuff, a little bit of white stuff doesn't help. You need a kazais. You don't have to have a kazais maror. You know how much a kazais of that gross white stuff is? It's a lot. So those are machmer to have the white stuff. I haven't yet seen too many people eat a kazais of it. So that might not even be yotzi. Their whole mitzvah by taking a little bit. They maybe put a little bit of white stuff on the chasa. So he says, Moreinu Rabbeinu, do not eat them together. Even though we saw before that the different morors are mitzvah to the shears, what's the problem? I'll add the white stuff to my chas. Because if the whole reason why you're doing it is because you're choshesh, that the lettuce is not really moror, so now you're adding something that's not moror to your white stuff. You're not, you're missing the whole point. They know more. They na chasa moror. Hey, mevatzah zu. Then they're going to mevatzah each other. They're not going to meet starif with each other. Okay? Unless the reason why you do it, you hold that both of them are really morakably, and you want it to be a little bit more bitter, so you add a little bit of white stuff to it, but Reuven so is not so into it, and he ends up saying over here, the Pashut, that the Rosh Zalman held that our lettuce is real lettuce, is considered morer, and he would just have the romaine lettuce, and therefore he could be totally fine and happy with just being yotze with the lettuce. If your parents or grandparents give you a hard time for not eating the white stuff, after you're done with your lettuce, take a little white stuff and put it in your mouth. If you want to make them happy, you can do that, but you already yotze your mitzvah with the romaine lettuce and not having to suffer through the white stuff. There's really no reason for it. You should know that this whole mitzvah of morer nowadays is only midrabanan. Mr. Bro points out the Gemara talks about at length that only when you have the Karban Pesach, then morer is going to be daraisa. Okay, when we don't have the Karban Pesach, as the Mr. Bro points out, the second line down. On the top of our page of 166, in the middle of Sikot Lamed Gimel, it starts in the previous page. It says, "Amatzos roim yachlu be'achshav shein lanu Pesach mitzvahs morer einu elam midrabanan." It's going to come into very, very important later on. We're talking about the korech sandwich of putting it together. So what's the point? Oh, that is a great question, asked Hudi, and I don't have an answer. Someone come with an answer. I'll be very happy you come out and meant to ask this question. Hudi asked a very good question. If what Ami Merzel is saying is correct, that the real thing is really chas, and the real thing is not the white stuff. Why do we put the white stuff on the Seder plate? We have two different areas. I don't have an answer to this. We have the romaine lettuce. That's called, I don't know, I think marur on the Seder plate. And then another thing called chazeres. Okay? I don't know, but one on there. I don't know, they both go on the Seder plate. It makes no sense to me, and I don't have a reason to tell you why we do that. And I've never seen anyone give a real reason why we do it. So anyone who could present a reason why we have both of them on the Seder plate, I'll be very happy if you could go ahead and tell me the answer to that question, because I definitely do not know. Okay? But we definitely hold that the mitzvah over nowadays is only midrabanan in order to fulfill your mitzvah of maror. Which maror? I believe the best thing is to go ahead and just have your romaine lettuce, have a kazayas of it, and you can be yotze. We'll come back to the mitzvah of maror. Bezrat Hashem, next time we will start with the din of charosas. Okay, charosas is delicious. Charosas will Bezrat Hashem continue next time. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Everyone have an amazing day. Kol Tuv. Don't forget, we have Moreno Rabbeinu of Merzel as right now scheduled at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. tonight. We'll see everyone there. Chizuk and question and answer. They sent out on an email. I'm asking everyone, please send in questions now. Send in questions now that might be going through your head, whether regarding Pesach or regarding things that have come up with the coronavirus. Okay, there's a WhatsApp group that was started also. I sent out the link to everyone. I believe everyone should have it. If not, so we can have the questions already set aside. We can pick out the good ones. Okay.
2 p.m. Eastern
Quickly,
time.
I'll take a couple questions. Yes, Ruby.
Wouldn't the maror make you cry also? Like when it's so bitter, isn't that a for Pesach? Why isn't that not mentioned?
What's your question?
I'm saying you said that the charos, the lettuce, it turns bitter, but the maror when you do it it makes you cry, and that's like it remembers the tears in the slavery.
It should. That's right. That's why it's supposed to be bitter. It's supposed to remind us of the slavery. Correct.
So according to that reason, why is the charosas better? I mean, why is
I don't know. Ask the Mishnah. The Mishnah told us to eat chasa.
For what reason? Because it turns bitter. But what is it called?
Okay, I don't know. Weiter. I gotta go because I have to give VHP in a couple minutes. Okay. Yes, Ethan.
Does Rav Nebenzahl also do like the Arizah or the Seder plate?
I was never zocha to eat Rav Nebenzahl Seder, but I would imagine so, but I don't know. Yes, Natano.
We said a few days ago that you when you're mixing the wines, you have to be careful with for issues of tzvia. Why is that not a thing on Shabbos by tea?
Ooh, that's a good question. And that's the Shartzion I sent to, I believe I mentioned in Shiur. The Shartzion sounds like that you would be makbid, have to be makbid, not to pour the tea sensitive or making petal. Okay, any of these drinks where you add powder in terms of, but that's not true. By the wine, your kavanah is you want it dafka red. By the tea, you don't care about the color, you care about the taste. And therefore, really don't have to be so makbid on that. Your kavanah is not the color. Okay? Shkoyach, guys. We'll see everyone tomorrow. We'll see everyone tonight, Bezrat Hashem. And then again, tomorrow, Ad Khan for today.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.